Hello everyone, it's Mark with Leveled Up, and today I want to talk about 5 differences between life coaches and therapists. Alright everyone, so the first difference between life coaches and therapists has to do with their education or background. Therapists will have some variety in terms of background, but it should be pretty similar in terms of graduate education in therapy, counseling, psychology, etc. Life coaches, there's no guarantee. You have to do your homework. You have to see who has what background and whether or not those skills may be uniquely well suited to you and your needs. I, for example, have a Juris Doctorate from CU Law, as well as graduate degrees in educational psychology and philosophy. And I bring well over a decade of college teaching experience to the game as well. Life coaches and therapists may handle different topics. So that's number 2. That which falls within the realm of therapy is somewhat diverse. And when I have clients who have those types of needs, obviously I refer them to a therapist. But in terms of life coaching, the sky's the limit. You wouldn't believe the plethora of topics that I've helped people kind of sort through, from seeking enlightenment to finding the meaning of life to applying for college or preparing for a job interview or making a schedule. The sky's really the limit in terms of really philosophically broad or really practical and narrow. So there's some difference there in terms of what topics a life coach versus therapist may be most qualified to help you with. Number 3, there may also be some difference in terms of the methodology used. So therapists have a variety of different methods. I won't go into all of them here, but with coaches, there may be mindfulness or gratitude practice or certain aspects of positive psychology. They may, when I do my practice, I bring in a lot of an Eastern philosophical background and help people work through non-attachment and some of those types of issues. So what types of methods are used? I may assign homework or readings or those sorts of things to a client as well, and that may vary some from your standard therapeutic practice. Number 4, there's a difference in terms of rules and boundaries. There's a lot more freedom and flexibility within coaching. It's a lot less regulated than the therapy environment. And, a pro to that is there's just so much more flexibility to create a really authentic connection that doesn't feel rigid, doesn't feel like, we have to fit into certain roles. Well, I'm your coach, so I can't be your friend, or we can't joke, or we can't, be really human, or you can't ask me about my life because that's not why we're here. Some of that is just much more open. Maybe we meet somewhere public because there's less concern about some of those rigid rules. And then finally, the 5th difference I'll mention is being a private versus a public figure. So therapists are, for the most part, private figures, and what happens with them and their techniques happen behind closed doors. Life coaches tend to be public figures. So you want to hire a coach who is modeling the type of success, however you define it, that you want to bring into your own world. So you can look at a coach who's out there, what types of materials are out there, what type of life are they living, and is that the kind of energy that you want for yourself? And so you can kind of measure a coach by what they're doing. Whereas when it comes to a therapist, you probably won't know much about their personal life and thus can't really measure them in the same way. They might be giving you advice on relationships, but you can't say, hey, but what about your relationships? You know what I'm saying? So there's another potential difference there as well. I'm sure there are many more, but those are 5 differences between life coaches and therapists. I hope you enjoyed and found that helpful. I appreciate you tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you back here soon. Third difference between a life coach and a therapist is life coaches have itchier noses.